Hello all. Today I thought I'd take a break from my work on preparing razors for austere August and videoing those to doing a refresh on one of my razors. This is the Dovo Bismarck 6/8 with a little bit of bling, which of course you need. That improves the shave. Having bling on the razor is a necessary feature for improving your shaves. Anyway, so this razor, let's get a packing peanut. This razor has not been refreshed in a while. I love the way this razor shaves. It's got varying sharpness across the edge. So I thought my initial thought was, well, let's do a refresh on the Nakayama Japanese natural stone here. But then I remembered a video I saw Jacques do, in which he suggested that he uses Nagura slurry on a Black Arkansas as a finisher. And he and almost every non-American refers to this as an Arkansas. That's because you people are logical and sensible. We have a state called Kansas, and we have another state that has Kansas in it and begins with AR. So the logical way to pronounce that would be Arkansas. So being Americans, we pronounce that Arkansas. So anyway, this is a Black Arkansas. I'm gonna try using slurry on this. I haven't seen Jacques demonstrate that. So I'm gonna sort of wing that part. I'm gonna actually try to raise a slurry on this. And if that doesn't work, then I'll raise a slurry on my Nakayama and then transfer that. So we got that coming. But this is dull enough, the Bismarck is dull enough that I'm gonna do some initial shaping with my Chu Nagura on the Nakayama. I mean, this is really just a refinishing, so this shouldn't need anything more than a, than some quick work on the Chu Nagura, which is this particular one is a little bit, the scratch pattern on this particular stone is a little bit finer than my Botan Nagura stone, which is kind of the coarse version in the Mikawa Asano sequence. So this is a little bit finer than that, but in practice, that's what the scratch pattern looks like. But in practice, I can reach from this directly to the Koma Nagura, which is in general considered to be the finest of the Nagura if you use the Asano sequence. So the Asano sequence would normally be Botan, Tenju, and then Majiro, and then this would typically be finer than Majiro. At least that's what I've heard. Again, I don't have any direct. I'm not an expert in this stuff. I just sort of rub steel on stones. But I find that I like the feel of this slurry very much, and that's just related to the stone itself. And then I like the finish that the Koma gives, and I don't, in terms of it doesn't feel as if it's difficult to jump from this to that. So I like doing it. I should have, sorry, I'm recording and I probably should have not made you sit through this. All right, let's see if this is enough. Yeah, I'm very anxious to see if see how the old Black Ark finish works out. After I get done doing other people's razors for austere August, I've got to do some refresh on my own stainless razors. I'm going to be using a stainless steel razor all of August. I've got 4 razors. I probably will refresh at least 3 of them. And so let me know if you want to see that. I mean, I don't know whether that's interesting or not. So if you want to see me do some stainless steel, let me know. This Dovo was interesting. When I first bought it, it had a very good looking but very dull edge, and I could not get a decent edge on it. It had some minor geometry issues which I corrected, and just wouldn't take an edge. And what I mean by that is that the steel at the very apex just kept crumbling, which is, you know, symptomatic. There we go. There's the kind of behavior we want to see on the slurry. Anyway, it kept crumbling, which is symptomatic of temper issues, and I found that a little difficult to believe. I know Dovo has gone through some management changes, and I bought this razor before that happened, so, you know, there might have been, I don't know, maybe a quality control issue. Anyway, as with temper issues, sometimes after about the 4th refresh on this razor, maybe 3rd, I don't remember exactly, but after a couple of refreshes, all of a sudden the steel on the edge just came alive, and boy, this became an amazing shaver. There we go. See that? That's just what you want to see. For those who have watched others of my videos, I try to mention this every time. You don't need the kind of microscope that I use to get good edges, and I guarantee you that there's nothing, even though my edges, you know, they look different. You know, they look different when you see my edges under those microscopes, under my microscope. You know, it can be, you know, you're not going to see that elsewhere, or maybe Dr. Matt, he has basically the same microscope as I do. But I guarantee you that if I can do it, my edges look a lot like his. So if I can do it and he can do it, you can do it, and you don't need the microscope to do it. Now, I have used that microscope, or the one I have, to study things and improve my technique. But I'm targeting not just me. I'm targeting trying to tailor edges for other people, and we don't all have the same. You know, we don't all have the same requirements when it comes to straight razors. We should. You should all want a razor just the way I like it. I mean, let's face it. That's the way it should be. There we go. Look at the way that has developed. Okay, let's make sure we have an edge. Nice. Get a little input from the peanut gallery here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where you want it. Making a little sound, but this is coming off the chew Nagura, and that's not. Again, you know, this is in the Botan range, which is on the coarse side. But you know, we now have a well-formed edge. So let me clean that. I'm going to pause because I need to think, am I going to go directly to Koma on Black Ark or not? Probably. I mean, you know, why do the familiar? So I'm going to pause, get set up, and I'll come right back. Okay, I'm back. I got the Arkansas out here, and just did a few swipes with the Koma to see if I could raise a slurry, and yep, sure enough, I can raise a slurry. So that's cool. So this is going to be a fun experiment. I'm interested to see what this edge is like. I'll probably do. I'll probably try going from this to a slurry off of the Nakayama, you know, a tomo slurry off of Nakayama to see if I can refine this, or you know, if it tests amazingly by itself, then I'll probably just stop here. I mean, another option would be do the Koma and then actually put an arc finish on it with glycerin. I don't prefer water on the arc. But that's, you know, again, it doesn't matter. Whatever works for you is what works. This is not rocket science, and I can speak with some authority on rocket science. Okay. Let's see what we see here. I have a small stone and a larger blade, but that's not really an issue. Just work the entire edge. Wow. Great feel. Great feel. Huh. Well, this is cool. Jacques, you rock. I don't think he watches these, but I'll tag him just in case. Oh, this is darn cool. This is an unusual feel. The Ark is a much harder stone than even my Ozuku, which is harder than my Nakayama. The Ozuku is the one that I have is a really hard stone. The Nakayama is slightly less hard to the feel, and actually much more forgiving on the edge. You really have to pay attention to the amount of edge bias. If you overdo it, you get little tiny little chips in the edge, which only I see on my microscope, but of course that annoys the hell out of me. So this is one of those things where, you know, I definitely sharpen to that microscope where I've learned, okay, what causes that. And on a hard stone, what causes that is too much edge bias. This is friggin' amazing. I'm loving this. Very, very cool. All right, let's see where we are. I mean, I think a tiny bit of, we'll do a little bit of Dilu arc here to what I call gone into the stone. I'm getting a nice feeling of attachment of the edge to the stone. I'm saying effortless, effortless undercut of the slurry, which is extremely thin. This is a tiny slurry filled, tiny Koma filled slurry. Talk, you know, how hard can it be to talk and go back and forth at the same time? Well, I struggle with it. More evidence that if I can do this, you can do this. I mean, how hard could it be to talk and do this at the same time? Okay, let's see it. Let's see what has happened here. Well, that is definitely sharper than it was. You can tell it's making far less sound than it did. We are not in, well, they're towards the, from here over, we're very, very close to being soundless and what I call push into the cloud. Very close. So let's, just for grins, I'm gonna whip up a little, well, let's see. I think maybe what I'll do is, let me give, yeah, I'm gonna do some, I'm gonna create, since I'm experimenting, I'm gonna create a tomo slurry with the Nakayama and transfer that to this. I won't make you watch that. So I'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, did a quick little bit there. Let's see how this feels. Interesting. Definitely feeling more of the arc surface than the slurry. Slurry is on the thin side, slightly on the thin side, but this is really interesting. I would also expect that the, and I guess arc, I'll notice later, but I would expect that the JNAT or the Nagura slurry is texturing the Arkansas stone. So that would be That would be nice. I like the idea of texture. I am not one of those people who burnishes the stone. I don't take a chisel and burnish the stone. That's just my preference. You know, you can. My preference is not to do that. I'm mostly just playing here. I think the edge was done a long time ago. Okay, let's hope I didn't overdo it. Do a little test here. Now, of course, the real tail of the tape is going to be the shave. So, well, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, we are. This is push into the cloud here. Well, not quite. We might get to push into the cloud. Well, let's see if we're in the pink. No, we're not into push into the cloud territory here. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do some more of this. I'm going to pause. I'm going to do some more of what you saw me do. I'm going to do it with a little bit of the, no, I think I'll do it with, without slurry, and we'll see what happens there. Okay, I wanted to stick with the whole slurry idea, so I simply rebuilt a very thin slurry, Nakayama slurry with the DMT diamond stone. I spent some time going back and forth, and I'm ready for a test. Not much better than it was, but better. Oh, well, yeah, that's really, that in that direction, pretty good. Sometimes these things are denser in some areas than others. Not bad, not bad. I'm still having to push a little bit. So I think I'll go take a look at this, see what it looks like, and then I'll be back. Okay, I showed you the microscope photo. I'd say looks pretty good, actually. I mean, the slight irregularity that you see on the very apex is in the order of 1 micron. So you would not see that at any other, any smaller magnification. That edge would look perfect at any smaller magnification, and it's way beneath what you would feel, in my experience at least. Putting some glycerin on here. This is kind of my version of running water. I like glycerin on the Black Ark. I like it on cauticles too. Okay, I'm gonna add a little moisture. And so all I'm gonna do here is to really just try to get that final little bit of sharpness into the apex, because I like, this is a preference, this is my razor. Wow, can you see that? I mean, the amount of that is sticking is insane. I mean, we're into the first just few, and I'm being very careful with pressure here. We're into just the first few strokes. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. So we should be maybe dial back any pressure. I'm not putting any torque into this. Sorry, any edge bias into this. So cool. I love these kinds of experiments. Sorry if this is like watching grass grow for you. All right, I think we better test this edge. I mean, I don't know that I'm going to get any further. Yeah, here we go. Let's just go straight for the pink. I think we're probably in. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's where we want to be. Well, that took almost no, only just a few strokes. I had to have been very, very close. I imagine the edge. Sorry. I get carried away. There we go. So that's just where that wants to be, and I haven't stropped it yet. Often stropping does a tiny bit. I don't put a lot of pressure for stropping. I'm only trying to affect the apex when I strop. So that's going to improve. That's going to improve the cutting ability. So let me. I'll take another image to see what the final image looks like. I think it's going to look just like the previous one. Then I'll strop and I'll be back. Okay, I've done the microscope image. Well, I was quite surprised by the microscope image. As you saw, I did not spend much time with glycerin and water on the Ark, and the edge, the tiny little variations at the edge cleaned up. The texture of the bevel changed a little bit. Now some of that's lighting, slight lighting differences, but yeah, I was really surprised by the change. I didn't expect that. So I've just done 20 laps on the fire hose linen. I did 40 laps on the steer hide leather here, and let's do a final test. Yeah, that's beautiful. We are definitely in the pink here with this test. That's beautiful. So I can already tell you this is going to shave well, but am I going to notice any difference in feel? So I'm very excited to find out. I'm going to go shave. I'll show a final image of the stropped edge, and I'll let you know how the shave went. Thanks for following me so far. So I had a terrific shave. I used Panna Crema Nuavia Verde soap and the same aftershave balm. Terrific scent, by the way. Absolutely love their products, but I think they're going out of business. I used the razor, obviously, and I used a dogwood handcrafts brush with a Declaration Grooming knot in it. Terrific shave, just really terrific. Of course, what you're interested in is the edge, and gosh, what a great find Jacques has made here. So I would say that the edge was very similar to an edge that I would get off my Ozuku stone. The Ozuku and the Black Arkansas are similar in hardness, but the Arkansas is harder. And this edge had the kind of precision that I kind of expect from an Arkansas edge, but it also had that soft featheriness that you get from a JNet edge. And I don't know. I'd be very interested to hear how Jacques describes it. I thought it was terrific. The shave from this razor couldn't have been more comfortable, and was really close. So I'm definitely going to be playing around with this combination more. As always, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your questions and comments, and I will see you in the next one.